want to thank the organization for the invitation to speak about NPoint here. I want to ask Marta, how much time do I have? The duration? 50 minutes, okay. I will do my presentation in Dutch.
NPoint was founded in March 2011 with 6 regional activities in the education world. All these initiatives were local initiatives, and they made a substantial contribution in the neighborhood. The aim was to do something for the education of young Turkish people, or let's say young Dutch children of Turkish origin. And these initiatives were created in more than 21 centers. These activities were very successful. We thought it was important to create a platform. That platform was necessary in order to develop joint activities. What are the objectives of NPoint? In my presentation, I will talk about NPoint, but NPoint is a youth organization, and the activities are organized by the Regional Education Center. And in the platform at NPoint, in the NPoint platform, we organize our own activities. What are the aims of these activities? First, it's the excellence in education and language development. We want children to have better scores at school, which means that children should not be happy just with a 6 or 7 out of 10, but should look for an 8 or 9 or 10 out of 10. That's the score we want them to look for. So we want to develop their abilities and their talents and reach excellence. The second objective, the second aim of NPoint is to present innovative ideas on the education world. We try and exchange ideas first with our own regional partners, but also with the different organizations that are trying to reach the same objectives as NPoint. The third objective is to give some responsibilities to our volunteers, the volunteers of our platform, because these are people who can bring something to society thanks to an education project. What about our target group? For the educational activities, it's for youngsters aged 10 to 18. In the Netherlands, it's the children at the end of the primary school, and then also the students from the secondary education. The objective is to communicate them some values of society. We also want them to participate in the life of society and the civil society. We work with different partner organizations that have existed for a long time. One dates back to 1994, and it's the center in Rotterdam, and that center gathered so many volunteers who even in their professional activities can develop certain things that will then be used as volunteer work, and they can make a substantial contribution to our project. What about our geographical presence? We cover almost all of the Netherlands. We work with regional organizations. We are represented in the different provinces. They are education centers in the different provinces, and they have developed different activities. I'm not going to talk about the different regions of the Netherlands, but I would like to focus more on certain activities. We want good quality education. we are well aware of the fact that we are not a school, but we've tried to train, and this is what we've proved the last few years. We really want to bring an added value at the education level, and we do that outside the school hours. For example, we organize classes during the weekends for the children from the primary school or from the first years of the secondary school. We have, for example, a weekend school with Dutch and mathematics. We organize these lessons during the weekend. That's 4 hours. These are groups of a maximum of 7 pupils. And we work on maths or on Dutch, and we repeat the lessons that were given during the week, or we give some complementary information. So we actually teach the same curriculum, but during the weekend. We repeat the lessons that were given during the week. Then we have the pupils from group 7 or group 8. These are actually the children in the last years of primary school. We have a preparatory classes, proper lessons to the CITO test. The CITO test is a test that is carried out at the end of the primary school. And it allows pupils to move on to the secondary schools. And it will guide you to the secondary school. So that's preparation to the CITO test. The CITO test is taken in February. Then we have 6 months to prepare pupils to secondary education. We then give additional lessons in different languages. In English, for example, pupils will also be prepared in physics, mathematics, chemistry, etc. Then we also have courses given by external teachers. 5 minutes left. Okay. So we can have external teachers. They will make a presentation. Very often these are professional people. Sometimes it's university students or students from a higher education school, and they will come and explain certain things. Then for those who are in the secondary schools, we have specialized courses where it's the pupils themselves or the parents who can indicate their weaknesses. Sometimes they need some support for certain lessons, so we can provide these complementary lessons or specific lessons. Sometimes we have homework classes for students who have difficulties in doing their homeworks or who have problems in terms of concentration, and there we have a team, a dedicated team for homework classes. For older pupils or students, and there's also support to prepare certain tests, for example, to go to university or higher education schools. And we also have a project that allows older students to develop their knowledge. For example, they have to prepare a mini thesis, and they can be supported to prepare these documents. So we can always be supported by our regional partners, and this is how we actually started. And it's very important because the main purpose was to allow some pupils to catch up. Then we have another level, and this project is called Talent Development. Since 2006, we've seen a total change. We realized that we were working on education and that we were getting very good results. But we realized that it was important to bring more to these pupils. It was not sufficient to work on Dutch or mathematics. We thought it was also important for them to develop their own talents as well. and that we should not just give them complementary math or Dutch lessons. And so we worked on talent development, and we created different activities. We organized different clubs, and this is something that was presented by previous speakers. We have, for example, the Robotica Club. It's the favorite club of our pupils. They can build robots in teams, and they will organize competitions between the robots that are going to fight with one another. And it really teaches pupils to cooperate. They are going to build a project together. They will also learn about the technical issues. And if there is a mistake, the team will have to work together to come up with a solution. Another innovative project is the education events. We've organized education events since 2007 in different education centers in the country. In her introduction, Martha said that we've had very good achievements. In 2006, the White Tulip Association was very much involved and very enthusiastic. We also got the support from a large children's scientific museum in the Netherlands, and we were able to achieve a world record. We gave technical lessons to the pupils. They learned more about sciences, and that's how we organized a great event. And that's what you can see on the pictures. So all the activities I've explained are funded by parents, up to 80%. The Parents Association support us. It's the Parents Association that cover the costs. They pay for the activities that are organized. And we distribute the funds according to the activities, of the popularity of our activities, and that's since 2007. In 2006 it was different. Why? Because in the Netherlands we used to focus our activities on the school catching up only. But then we decided to move on and to do more than that, and also launch talent development activities. And we realized that parents were more reluctant to give us funds and money. And this is the reason why we've not been able to organize all the activities. For example, there was the Scientific Festival of 2010. We only participated once, but we want to continue, because with our partner organizations we'll try and collect money, and thanks to the support of these organizations we'll be able to develop our knowledge. We've also put a logistical support in place, and we'll apply it in the framework of the UNESCO. UNESCO is an event that is going to take place this year. This is an environmental and scientific competition. We are going to organize the central event of the UNESCO competition on the 9th of June. And we are also going to be the co-organizers of another event. It's the RoboCup Junior. It's a competition between robots, and during a whole day we are going to organize a robot competition, a robot struggle in the Nemo Museum. This is going to take place on the 2nd of June. What about community involvement and social involvement? We believe we should not limit ourselves to the main subject matters taught at school. We think it's not enough to develop talents. We believe it's important to have a link with society, a return to society, and we've tried to do that with some support activities. Thanks to the parents' participation in our activities, and this allows us to have a broader platform. And we think that's a way to do something for society. I'm taught to go faster, so I will just finish and say that NPoint started a series of conferences this year. Conferences to make regional partners known, but also to work with third parties. We really want to propose innovative projects and give support to local activities. We are ready to cooperate with other projects as well. Now, to conclude, what are the values of NPoint? We believe there's a real community involvement, a real involvement in society. We are very much involved because we've seen a real bottom-up approach and a bottom-up growth. It is a real bottom-up approach. We started from the local neighborhoods, and we've been able to extend our activities at the national level. And we believe that the main course, the main lessons for our pupils can be extended. We can work in a more customized way. We work with pupils, with the students, but also with the volunteers. They are all very young. We have volunteers who are a little bit older, but they're never much older than the young people they support. We are also able, through that link that is created amongst us, we are able to work with an exceptional group of volunteers. Thank you very much indeed.